changing your life one story at a time. This is the Chicken Soup for the Soul podcast with Editor-in-Chief Amy Newmark.
Hey, it's Amy Newmark with your daily dose of Chicken Soup for the Soul inspiration to make you simply happy. It's Thoughtful Thursday, and I want to talk about a newspaper column I wrote a couple of years ago around the time of my birthday. It's about birthdays and who should really be getting the gifts and the cake and the cards and all the hoopla on that special day. I'm not sure how all this got started historically, celebrating our birthdays. When did humanity decide that this was going to be a thing? And why are we birthday boys and girls the subjects of all the attention on our special day? Why do our mothers send the cards and gifts to us and not vice versa? I've been wondering why we don't flip birthdays over and celebrate the person who did all the work on that day. And I don't mean Dad, because his part of the process was easy. I mean Mom, the one who grew that basketball-sized squatter inside her belly and then had to get it out. That was work. When my own kids' birthdays come along each year, I always find myself revisiting their births, remembering the labor, the first moment I saw them, and then thinking about everything that has happened since. They live in different states than I do now, and I feel like a piece of me is with each of them at all times, hundreds of miles away. When I wrote my newspaper column about this, I looked up Honor Your Mom on Your Birthday on Google, and I found one lonely hit, just one. But then I found a book called Honoring Your Parents by Gail Jackson, in which he says, call your mother and dad the first thing when you wake up on your birthday, and especially thank your mother for doing all the work on that day. I always thought we had birthdays backwards in America. We should throw a party for our parents, not they throw one for us. To be clear, I don't advocate the end of birthday parties. After all, they're fun occasions and good excuses to bring people together. And who doesn't like giving and receiving presents? But let's honor the right person on our birthdays. With Mother's Day approaching, it's worth thinking about honoring our moms for at least a second day each year. Mother's Day and then your own birthday. Instead of looking outside your door for a delivery van on the anniversary of your birth, how about showing your appreciation by sending flowers and a card to your mom? When I wrote my column 2 years ago, I had decided that I would do something special for my mom on my birthday. I wanted to thank her for the 9.5 months I occupied her womb, for the painful drug-free delivery, and for all the hard work, dedication, and worrying that went into raising me for the next 18 years. Well, really for the next 6 decades. She was the real hero of my day of birth. I just lay there and cried. Unfortunately, my mother went on a trip that April and was away for my birthday, and she went away the April after that too, so I didn't get to send her the flowers I had planned on my birthday. It happens to have been my birthday a few days ago. I turned 60, which is pretty scary. I remember talking about this with my mother several months ago. I was saying that I couldn't believe that my firstborn child was turning 30, and she said she couldn't believe that her firstborn, me, was turning 60. Unfortunately, she didn't make it to my 60th birthday. As many of you know, she died unexpectedly in January at age 85. And it really makes me regret that I never got to put my plan into action to honor her on my birthday. I did have a wonderful birthday, though, earlier this week. It came at the end of a long weekend during which my daughter got married. So I got to spend the weekend with my 2 kids and my 2 stepkids and their significant others, and that was the best birthday present ever. I hope this inspires you to do something for your mom on your birthday. Or maybe you already do. I'd love to hear about it. Shoot me an email at amy@chickensoupforthesoul.com, and we'll see if we get some great ideas for another podcast. I'm Amy Newmark. Thanks for listening to the Chicken Soup for the Soul podcast today. If you've been listening and enjoying, please do me a couple of favors, because remember, it was my birthday. Share the podcast with your friends and family, and subscribe to it on iTunes or Podbean or wherever you get your podcasts. And post a review, too. My manager and my producers will be very grateful. Come back tomorrow for a fun conversation with Ron Kaiser. He's an English teacher in New Hampshire who always amuses us with his funny stories and his adventures with his students. He's going to tell us one of the funniest teacher stories we ever published.